Welcome back. And yes, you are in the right place. We do talk about Love Island here too. And with that being said, did somebody spike my coffee? Because I'm just trying to figure out if we were watching a Broadway musical or were we looking for love here? Because that opening segment that was, in my opinion, totally unneeded just kind of left me thinking that maybe we're just auditioning for community theater. But honestly, all of that aside, that was nothing compared to that emotional terrorism that they called the final twist in that final segment of the episode. Ariana Madix just strolled right in there and faced these people that have known each other for less than 36 hours and said, hey, let's play a game of red light, green light. And it's not really red light, green light, it was red dot, green dot. But basically, stand on the green dot if you're delusional and good where you're at. Or you could go over here to this red dot and potentially have a really good time with somebody sexy and hot, which one sounds better to you? Because it was kind of obvious what it was going to be. And yes, those new bombshells came in and they kidnapped the islanders, but not before they played a game of suck face first. And they walked straight up out of there holding hands and everything, while all their day one partner could do is basically stand there and stare into the abyss. And it's crazy. It's only day two and they're already moving mad, but let's go ahead and jump right into this. So let's unpack the beautiful madness first, because rest in peace to the OG numbers, because we had 12, but now we're down to 10. And one of our OGs, Gabriel, had to not be an OG anymore, and now he's a bombshell. But at least he still came in the villa by day two, I guess. No need to talk too much about it, because I'm sure we've all either know about or heard about the whole Vasana mess by now. So that's all we'll say about it here, and we'll keep going from there. But before our bombshells arrived, we had to get through our initial coupling, which they did by making everyone play, a blind kissing game, because, every game is a kissing game. And, I don't have anything against it because, it's totally sanitary. It's not very awkward at all because, we all just met, basically. But we meet our cast of characters, including Kenzie, who has basically let us know that she's a reborn again virgin, but we see her in the clip for episode 2 crying her eyes out because obviously her guy isn't standing on the other side of that door. And not only that, it's the fact that she's crying. She always picks these cheaters, and I guess I can kind of see where she's going with that, but I think she just meant she just picks the wrong person, because I'm not sure you can really cheat on anybody in this particular environment, but that's neither here nor there. But then we also meet 29-year-old Bryce, who is, I guess, having some type of crisis because he thinks that he's stealing somebody's youth, because he thinks that he's stealing the youth of Trinity, who is 22. And that is sort of an age gap. And we've already had our age gap show for the year. And I'm pretty sure he's probably hip to that and maybe some of the reaction that may go with that age gap. But at the same time, buddy, you're only 29, getting ready to turn 30. She's 22, probably getting ready to turn 23. It's not this huge thing, but I guess I kind of get where you're coming from with that sentiment. And then comes the twist. And like I said, they basically play this game of red light, green light. Everybody has these fragile egos. So why not torture them a little bit? But the green dot means that you stay in the couple, and the red dot means that you basically want to explore. So then we see Gabriel and our new bombshell, Kayda, come in, and they strut in and they do their little thing, and everybody sees them. They're just like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. These are two very nice looking people, but Kayda grabs Zach and Bryce, and Gabriel grabs up Beatrice and Trinity, and, they go off to somewhere, and who knows, but we do see in the clip that at least a couple of them end up in some private room, and they're going to be playing a private kissing game, of course. And I'm just playing honestly because I don't have a problem with anybody kissing, because who doesn't like to kiss? And especially when it seems like the theme of this season, if you heard them say it over and over again, is just love this, love that, love is good, love is great, and love is good. And I completely agree with them, but it does just seem like they're being pushed to say a lot of this, and it's a little bit overboard. And I'm not complaining about it, because there could never be enough love in this world, especially where things are now. I think having love is great. So please bring on all the love that you guys can. But the crazy part to me with the guys walking off with the OG Islanders is no text, no big fire pit speech, just poof, they're gone. And for me, and watching these things with my wife, this is what I like to see. Just pure, unadulterated cinema, because please bring on the drama, because why not throw a little confusion into the mix? Because that's what makes this interesting to watch anyways. But this is my third reality TV show that I've done, and I think I want to try something a little different with this one. And I think I want to hand out an Audacity Award. And that'll be really good for this show because it comes on basically every day. So we could give out this Audacity Award damn near every day, because somebody in every episode is probably going to have the audacity to do something either crazy or stupid. And we're going to be right there to catch them right in the middle of their tracks. But this week's trophy is going to go to Zach. Yes, Zach, that is the guy that looks just like Charlie because that is the brother of Charlie. Like, this guy marched in to the One Direction song. I can't remember the name of it, but he acts like he was God's gift to the villa, and he eventually couples up with Kenzie. And oh my God, what a mistake that was, because he immediately lets us know and lets her know as well, because they stayed up all night talking about basically how he's never dated a blonde before. First red flag, how he likes dark features. Red flag number two, at least for Kenzie, because he's basically telling you in so many words that he doesn't like you. We saw him standing on the red dot because he's definitely ready to explore. And we saw Kenzie, God bless her soul, standing on the green dot because, she wanted to explore this. And not to mention, she had people over here kind of egging her on. I think it was Melanie who just, I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. Yes, you guys are good. Like, this is a game to a degree. So, if somebody becomes single, then that does put people at danger, or maybe somebody may try to come take your man or something like that. So maybe Melanie's gaming a little bit, or maybe she does just really have her back, or maybe she's just that delusional in just this day and a half that, oh yeah, this guy that when they were up there in the makeup room did not seem like he even really wanted to give her that little peck of a kiss. And I thought that was a little rude because you could have just said not right now. I don't know if there's a better way for him to do it, but that kiss gave off just cold vibes to me. But all that aside, we see him get pulled off to, wherever. And then we see Kenzie in episode 2 little mini trailer crying her eyes out. And it's just like, damn, it's only been a day and a half. And it's just like, I get it. This is probably an emotional situation. You're around these people all the time and you have conversations or whatnot, but I think he kind of told you, but I guess even though he kind of told you that, you're not for him, I'm sure rejection sucks. Nobody wants to be rejected. So I completely understand her emotions, and I do feel bad for her. And I hope she does find a person for her. And he's just not it. So let's just move on, girl, because this might actually be a good thing for her, because if he's willing to bounce that quick, think about it. If he does make it to Castle Moore and what his behavior may be like then, when he has a treasure trove of new things to look at, and how he may feel about that. So maybe Kenzie dodged the bullet. We'll see in a few weeks, but who knows what'll happen. The only thing I know is Zach is toxic, Zach is messy, and Zach is great for TV, and I'm looking forward to his downfall because it'll probably be very, very entertaining to watch. And nothing against him. I just think it's messed up to make people cry. So, you know, everybody's going to want to watch Zach go down, or maybe not. Maybe it's just me. But let's go ahead and do a rapid fire check-in on the other couples, because we don't want to leave those guys out and what they have going on as well. Because the real question on this island is, who is in the forecast to get dumped next? So let's start with Melanie and Sincere, because this seems to be one of our genuine couples. They seem to like each other. They bonded over the damn Philadelphia Eagles. Boo to them for that, because nobody really cares about the Eagles, and go Patriots since we just got A.J. Brown. But all of that aside, let's talk about Sincere for a second, because he introduced himself to us as somebody who thought it would be selfish not to spread love around. And not to mention, he's a self-proclaimed ladies man, but he did stand on the green dot, so maybe he does stand for something. And I'm not judging him, I'm just stating what I see, but everything seems to be good for now. But don't be surprised if something brews in the future, because it could be selfish not to spread love. So let's just remember that for the future. And then we have Anaya and KC, who basically are trauma bonding because KC got left out at jump and nobody picked him. And Anaya was at the door along with Melanie to basically have Sincere pick between the two. And Sincere picked Melanie, obviously. So these two are trauma bonding over the fact that they didn't get picked. And you know what? I kind of like these two together. And I think that they could probably be our next couple that goes a long way, at least. But, let's not jump too quick, because, they didn't pick each other. So they were kind of just put together because they were the leftovers. But when they both got a chance to stand on the green dot or the red dot, they both chose the green dot. So it's good to see that they're at least open to exploring what they could have together. But, from what we saw so far, it does seem like they do have good banter. So, good luck to them. I hope they make it a long way, and then we'll see where they get to. And then we have Trinity and Bryce, who on the surface initially looked like they had a lot of chemistry. But then, when things started slowing down a little bit and we finally got into our bathing suits and spent a night together, the truth starts to come out a little bit that hey, I'm almost 30 and I could be still in her youth. And, she's over here talking about, I don't really like all that kissing. Even my own saliva gives me the ick. And, I don't think this show is for her if her own saliva gives her the ick. I'm just saying, if you have never seen this show and if this is your first season, then go back and check out the other 7 seasons because this is not the show for her if her own saliva gives her the ick. Trust me. So honestly, I'm not even sure why she's really here because we all know what this show is about. So if you're not willing to kiss a little bit, you're not going to make it very long. And she doesn't really have a lot to say, in my opinion, at least not yet. Yeah, she's kind of had a little bit more to say with the girls, but not even a lot there. It's all pretty surface level. But I guess I have to give her and everybody a little bit of grace because it's only been at this point for them probably about 48 hours because we are a little bit behind them. So we'll just see where it goes. We can't judge anybody off of one episode, but as far as the whole saliva it comment, you're definitely not going to last long on this show if you don't want to play the games and kiss. So she may have to get past a few things if she wants to survive. I know you guys like survive. Yes, she has to survive this show because while this is a love dating show, it is very much a competition show at the same time. So if she ain't kissing, she is not going to win. But as far as this couple between Trinity and Bryce, they both stood on a red dot. This couple is dead on arrival. So that's basically that with these two. They're done. Now that doesn't mean they don't come back together, but for now, and probably tomorrow, they're more likely done. And then on to Beatrice and Sean and poor sweet Officer Sexy Pants who moved his life to Pennsylvania to be with somebody who he's no longer with because he has a child with them. And while Beatrice seemed to be feeling him at first, when she heard about that baby, she was just like, oh, I have a dog, so not ready for a kid yet. So it was not a surprise to me when we saw her standing on that red dot. And it wasn't a surprise for me to see him stand on that green dot because he seems to think very highly of himself. And I'm sure you've probably heard about some of the reports around him and his job and the fact that he keeps claiming to be a police officer because, yeah, we're not going to get into that. But they did have a lot of chemistry and it seemed like they did like each other. And maybe they'll re-explore each other again in the future or maybe not because Beatrice basically found the opportunity to get up out of there as soon as she got the opportunity to. And by the way, she really seemed to enjoy kissing Gabriel as well. So my official prediction with all the couples being put out there now is Kenzie and Sean are in danger of being dumped. I think they are in trouble because unless they bring somebody in next episode, which it seems like they're moving a lot faster, and they just may do that, at least maybe one person. But I don't think Sean is going to make it because he put all his eggs in one basket, it seems, and everybody else seems to be happy where they are. And Kenzie, unless she wants to go try her luck with Sean, I don't know where this is going to go. And I think both of them could be on their way out the door. But that's all for tonight's recap, really. That was basically episode 1 in a nutshell. It's your introductory episode, not much happening, but, we got our couples and we got our first little twist. So hey, the game is going. So let me know what you guys thought about the episode down in the comments. Do you think Zach deserved my Audacity Award? And who do you think deserves it next? Or if you don't agree with that, who do you think deserved the Audacity Award in this episode? But drop your thoughts below. Let me know what you think about everything. Who is your strongest couple? Who is your weakest couple? And please don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. I appreciate that. That really helps the show and it lets me know to keep making episodes like this. And thank you again. And I will see you in the next one.